Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel or podcast wherever you are listening from. My name is Peter Barber. I am a professional opera singer, host of this podcast, Vocal Arts with Peter Barber, and a member of the Bass Gang. A couple weeks ago, I had the great pleasure of sitting down and chatting, finally, with Luke Taylor. Truly one of the most well-known bassists in the world, with 4 million followers on TikTok. He's been on American Idol. He's a member of the Wellermen group that is gaining fame rapidly. But man, Luke and I have been in touch for probably about 2 years now. Kind of since he blew up on TikTok, we've been in touch, and we finally got to have an hour-long conversation. And I'll tell you, by the end, we're very vocal about it. We really feel like boys, like we're boys by the end of this conversation. It was really wonderful. But it was really cool to hear about Luke's whole upbringing in music, what he's doing now, what it was like to go as viral as you can go viral on social media, his approach to his voice and his technique, the kinds of other vocal things he's working on, whether it's his new album, which is coming out, or he's also training a bit as an opera singer, where I will hopefully be some kind of mentor to him in that area. And to hear about, his goals. His goals are not fame and fortune. He really is a guy who wants a simple life, making music. And, having a huge following is never part of that. And I will let him tell you the rest of the story. But here it is, a conversation with my brother, Luke Taylor. Hope you guys enjoy.
Yo ho, all hands, hoist the colors high. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames went higher. And it burns, 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 the ring of fire, the ring of fire. Yo ho, all hands. Soon may the Wellermen come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. Santiana fought for gold. Away, Santiana! Around Cape Horn, through the ice and snow, along the plains of Mexico.
Hello, everyone, wherever you are watching or listening from. Today we are here with Luke Taylor, and I'm actually going to pass the baton over to him and let him give a little brief introduction as to who he is and what he's up to these days.
Perfect. Well, hello, my name is Luke. I am a bass singer on TikTok and also a singer-songwriter. And I started up my bass singing career on accident, actually. And it was doing the Wellerman trend in 2020. And then after that, everything just kind of happened. And it wasn't something that I had really asked for, but I enjoy doing it. And so it's given me a lot of awesome opportunities. Like I can pay for my college with it. And I've gotten to be on some TV shows and stuff like that. I'm studying music in college now, which is awesome. And then, in the future, who knows? But for now, I'm just going to keep doing TikTok-based stuff. So,
dude, that's amazing. I did not realize that it was so successful that you could pay for your college tuition. That is mind-boggling. So
yeah, I know. It's
congrats, ridiculous. Man. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So let's wind the clock back. What is kind of your musical upbringing? What led you to studying music in college?
I did not have any musical training before I got to college. So my dad was really the one who got me into singing, because he's a great piano player and he's got a great voice. He'll never admit it though. And when we were kids, he would just play the piano and ask us to come sing for him. And I loved doing that. And then when I got to high school, I did choirs and stuff, just really basic stuff. And then there was one day in college where I was like, oh, you know what? Maybe I'll join just a choir for fun because I like singing. So I did that. And I was late for the dress rehearsal. And I was running through the halls of the School of Music. And I literally ran into the dean of the School of Music. And he was like, oh, can I help you? And I was like, no, I'm just going to this dress rehearsal. And he was like, can you say that one more time? And I was like, I'm just going to this dress rehearsal. And he was like, here's my card. And he gave me his card. And then I called him and I was like, hi. And he was like, you're in the School of Music now. And I was like, all right, I guess so. So that's how I became a music student.
That is, it is so true that colleges everywhere are always hurting for even normal bases, much less
Yeah,
like very low bases
yeah,
like yourself. So
yeah,
they don't even need to know if you can sing in two, and they're just like,
yeah,
we'll just throw you on base two, and
yeah,
we'll give a little rumble down there, and it doesn't even
yeah,
matter.
yeah,
And of
exactly.
course, you can sing quite well, so I'm sure that was a very pleasant surprise
Thank you.
for
Yeah.
them. So, what has your other involvement been like? And you're at Liberty,
Yes,
correct?
sir.
Which
Yeah.
is just an hour from where I grew up, about an hour
Really?
south. Yeah,
Okay.
I grew up Central Virginia.
Okay.
So Liberty, actually,
Nice.
we used to do like track meets there and stuff in high school.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Wow. That's
Uh,
awesome.
it's cool, man. They actually have a really, really nice facility
Yeah.
for indoor track.
Liberty has
They got
really
some
nice
money.
everything,
They got some
actually.
money down there. Yeah.
Yeah, they got some real money. So,
So you're
yeah.
doing choirs. Are you taking any classical voice lessons? Are you dabbling in the opera side of things at all?
Yeah. Yeah. So I took classical lessons for the past 2 years, but I finished my lessons on my degree completion plan, but I still want to keep taking them because I mean, I have had an untrained voice for the first like 20 years of my life. And so I want to keep doing those. I'm doing an opera in February.
I
So
am so excited
I
to hear
know, I
that.
know. It's just so frustrating because like there are so few like I mean, I don't have the skill training that you do. Like you have such an amazing register and range.
Thank you, man.
Um, I can't do that. Like, I mean, my range is like uh, I've got a projectable C, and then I can go to like uh high E, and that's it. And it's
Yeah,
like there are very few profundo arias that I can do,
it's true.
but
It's funny. Even
it's
like
so hard to find.
the
Yeah,
lowest roles in opera, you still got to have some high notes
yeah,
because at the end of the day, no matter how loud your low C is, and you have one of the fattest low Cs I can think of, it's still not nearly as loud as like a well projected upper register
yeah,
in a well trained voice. And
yeah,
when you're battling orchestra the whole time, like that's where the roles just have to be written.
yeah,
So even the profundo roles you got to be singing, yeah, like E's, even some F's probably
yeah, yeah,
reliably.
yeah.
Have you looked at any of Zarastro from the Magic?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
So that, so what is it? Die Entführung? I don't
Oh yeah,
remember what it's called.
Osmi, Die Entfernung aus dem Serail.
Yes, yes. I listened to that and I was like, holy crap, this is crazy, but I want to learn it.
Yep.
So that one is crazy,
Yeah,
crazy.
that's the kind of role that your kind of voice would be perfect for.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. Even that role, I mean,
There's ease in that.
even
Yeah.
that aria with all the sustained low D's has high E's in it,
Yeah.
like
Which is,
Mozart. What are you
yeah,
doing, man?
I know. Ridiculous. So,
It's it is a very select few people who can project those low D's well enough, especially after you've been singing opera and it's like the very end of the day, usually
yeah.
when you've kind of lost the most bassy part of your voice, especially
Hmm.
you warmed up and whatever, to still have a bunch of power down there.
Yeah.
It's rare.
Yeah.
I only know a not even a handful probably of like basses like that who can really sing that role.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So what opera are you guys doing?
We're doing, oh man, I'm having a brain fart. Um, Deflator Mouse.
Okay. No, so
So
there's really no bass rolls in that show.
no, no. But
Are you just singing chorus or what?
yeah, I'm singing chorus and I'm also gonna be Frosh, the drunk jailer guy. So I get
Jailers
to
are
walk
always basses.
I know, right? So I just get to walk around and I'm German. Where's the Warden? Hello, Warden. And that's it. And I love it.
That
So
is fantastic. And also
yeah.
you do speak German, don't
I do
you?
speak German. Yeah.
I heard this from Casper because you absolutely shattered his reality.
I know. That was so funny. I was dying at that. So we were at a restaurant and when the Wellermen were in the UK or whatever. And I don't even remember how it came up, but like they were like, I feel like somebody in the Wellerman group can speak German. And uh Bobby's sister was like, is it Luke? And Casper was like, no, there's no way Luke speaks German. And then he goes, actually, you know what? And he looks over at me and he goes, Luke, do you speak German? And I was like, yeah. He was like, talk to me in German. And I started speaking, and he was just like he was blown away. He was like, you have no accent at all. And I was like, thank you. But yeah, it was really
American
funny.
country boy speaking German.
I know, right?
Where'd you learn to speak German?
Well, I went to school in Germany for a little bit, which was cool. And I grew up learning German just for fun. And also I'm from like near Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and so we've got a lot of Amish folk out there that speak German. So
Interesting.
yeah,
I got to get my German up so we can have conversation.
yeah,
Usually, the further one goes down the pro opera career, usually singers, once they've been working in Europe a lot,
mhm.
they'll get fluent or close to fluent in Italian, German, and French.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
like definitely, and I should get I need to start prioritizing it really. Because like if I sing in these languages, I sound fluent because like my diction and pronunciation has been very well trained,
Mhm.
but I'm not fluent. Like I'm like basic conversational in Italian.
Yeah,
That's probably it. So I've actually been meaning to like put it a little higher on the priority list.
yeah.
You know,
That's
that's very
fun.
exciting. You're doing opera. I'm glad to hear that. Just
Yeah,
because like you're like not all voices are suited for opera. Period.
yeah.
Like you have to have a kind of natural power that
Hmm.
you then train up a bunch, of course.
Yeah,
And even like basses with low voices, like not all of them could really be functional
yeah,
profundos again
yeah.
because of this power and resonance thing. But your voice in particular, I've always wondered. I was like, I wonder if he took a real stab, like
Yeah,
what would happen. So
yeah,
keep me posted, dude. I'd be happy to like be some kind of quasi mentor
yeah,
as you train, or if you want tips on arias or like rep to sing or how to approach the second passage because that's a pain in
yeah,
the ass.
yeah, yeah. That would
feel,
be fire.
feel free to hit me up.
Yeah.
Okay, so when did you get into the short form content and kind of what was your online presence like before and then what happened afterwards?
Well, I didn't get a phone until I was 18. So I downloaded TikTok my first week of college because my roommate at the time was like, "You should get TikTok because you're weird, and I feel like people would like that." And I was like, "Okay." And I did it, and I just posted like stupid videos, whatever. And then one day when I was home for Christmas break, I was scrolling and I came across Nathan Evans' Wellermen video at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, "This is cool, but it really needs a bass line." So I went out to my kitchen because I didn't want to wake up my family, and I recorded it, and I went to sleep, and I woke up, and it had like 100,000 likes, and I was like, and I was like blown away. And then throughout the day, it just kept getting bigger, and then I kept making videos like that, like sea shanties and stuff. Sea shanties have never really been my like passion, but I enjoy them. And so that was really what got me started. Um, but I never really wanted to be like big on social media. I'm not a huge fan of being like the center of attention. And I promise this is not meant to sound like egotistical or rude at all, but it's just like I get recognized a lot. For some reason, it's always in Walmart. Like I love mac and cheese, so I'll be in Walmart getting mac and cheese, and somebody will walk up to me and be like, "You're that guy," and I'm like, "I'm that guy. This is aisle 15 at Walmart. I'm here getting my mac and cheese because it's 15 cents cheaper." And that's just how it goes. But I would love to get into songwriting. I don't really want to be like super famous or anything like that. I just want to write songs and live in a little cabin in the woods, and I'll be a little guy. So that's where I'm hoping to go in the future.
It's tough to
So
be a little guy with what 4 million
yeah,
followers on
yeah, it's tough.
TikTok.
Yeah, yeah, but
Well, I mean, I don't think anyone was really passionate about sea shanties until sea
yeah,
shanties kind of came out of the woodwork.
yeah,
The
yeah,
sea work, whatever.
yes,
Like they really came out of nowhere.
yeah,
Aside from like the longest Johns, and then
yeah.
I mean they are still raging to this
I
day,
know
which
they're
is
yeah.
just shocking. So tying into sea shanties, how did the Wellerman form? I'm just interested to hear it from your perspective. I've heard it from Bobby's side, and I'm sure the story is similar. But how did the Wellerman
Yeah.
kind of come together, and how did you guys decide to kind of make it a real ongoing thing?
Well, Bobby and Johnny added to the duet chain of the Wellerman, and I like followed them, and they followed me back, and we were like, "Whoa, this is so cool! We're like sea shanty people now." And then we made a group chat so that we could like professionally record it, and professionally meaning I set up a microphone in my dorm room, and then Johnny was friends with Ruben, our manager, who owns or is a co-owner of 10 West, which is the label we're signed to. And Johnny was like, we should sign to this label. And we did that. And then we just started recording stuff virtually. And then Ruben was just kind of like, hey, we should all meet up sometime. And so we did that this summer. And we recorded for like 10 days. And then we did some shows. We got to sing on a, why am I forgetting the word? Big boat with people on it. Cruise.
Cruise ship.
Yeah, so we got to sing on a cruise ship, which was really cool. It was my first time being on a cruise ship. So
Cruise ships are an experience.
yeah, I felt like I had no legs. I was like stumbling around everywhere, but it was
Man,
very fun.
have you been on a smaller boat before?
Yeah, I grew up like sailing and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, it is like a moving island.
Yeah,
Especially
yeah.
nowadays. They just keep getting bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Okay, very cool. And you were okay, so you kind of started that TikTok chain after
Yeah,
Nathan.
yeah,
You were like the number two man
yeah,
on that thing.
yeah.
And then wasn't there some talk of trying to do something with Nathan, but he was already swept up by another label and couldn't collaborate with you guys?
Yes, yes. Nathan and I have an interesting relationship.
I think I heard a bit about that
Yeah,
recently.
yeah. That was interesting. So
Yes.
yeah, a little bit relieved that that didn't work out.
Yeah,
But
fair enough.
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
So
cool.
and then we got Sam, and I love Sam. Sam is just the best ever.
Dude,
So
I
yeah,
can't wait to meet all you guys in person.
yeah. I know. We're hoping to come to the States next summer.
Oh,
So
fantastic.
yeah, yeah, that'll be fire.
Okay,
So
awesome.
yeah,
Awesome. Okay, so nowadays, when you approach your TikTok, how do you go about it? Are you kind of letting it ride, or are you doing more singer-songwriter stuff, or still posting shanties, or what's
I
your
really
approach?
just like. I mean, I've been writing a lot, and so pretty much like whenever I write something, I just record it, post it, leave it be. Um, I haven't been too interested on growing my social media. I never really have been. It just kind of happens. Um,
Hmm.
but I don't know. I love writing songs, and that's really been my main focus for a while musically. But still, sometimes I'll come across videos that I want to duet, and so I've got a whole bunch of them saved in my drafts on TikTok. So we'll see. Maybe you'll see some more of them soon. But
Okay,
yeah,
wink, wink.
yeah,
And
yeah.
are you writing like country kind of
I
stuff?
really write like folk and western. I'm not a huge fan of like beer and trucks country.
Okay.
Um, I just don't think that it's a very entertaining genre. I love stories, and I feel like folk is the best genre for telling stories. I love folk music. I also love jazz, but I'm not very good at writing jazz.
Jazz is
So
very different from Western.
yes, yes, absolutely. So yeah.
You must know Coulter Wall.
Oh my gosh. I hold on. How well do you know of Coulter Wall?
Pretty well. I've been listening. Like I kind of found him a few months ago, and I've been listening.
Oh, well, you can see that up there. But
Oh, amazing!
yeah, so that's from Coulter Wall's. I think I have his CD
Get
for
some
it
vinyl
somewhere.
over there.
His yeah, somewhere in my vinyl. I have it, but it's from his Imaginary Appalachia album, which is the album that got me into songwriting. So I love Coulter Wall.
What an incredible voice on that guy.
He is
Like
insane.
crazy.
Yeah,
Like you
I
just
mean,
it's such a rare, unique kind of timbre and
yeah,
everything.
and I mean, like he started recording when he was like 19, and he sounds like he was like 70. And
Yeah.
granted, like his vocal technique was not very good when he first started, but like no one can tell a story like he can. He is just
Yeah.
phenomenal, phenomenal.
Yeah. Phenomenal. His albums are great to listen all the way through.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Very cool. So that's the kind of music you would lean towards
Yeah,
in
yeah,
your
or like
songwriting.
Tyler Childers. I love Tyler
Yeah,
Childers.
he's great too.
Yeah, and Sturgill Simpson. Not many people have heard of Sturgill Simpson, but he's really
Oh,
good. And Benjamin
um,
Todd.
what is Sturgill? I've definitely heard Sturgill Simpson before. I'm trying to think of the album.
Yeah.
There's a great album, like a very much storytelling album.
Yes. Have you heard of the song called Sam? It's like a minute and a half long, and it's about a dog. That's my favorite song that he
Is it? It
sings.
might be on that album.
It probably is.
It's the one where the bandits come and they like take his woman
Yeah.
away.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
album.
Fire. Gas. Yes. So good.
It's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
I've been meaning to get into songwriting myself. I've been playing guitar. I started playing
Yeah.
guitar at the end of last year, and I've pretty much just been working on like chords.
Yeah.
Just be good enough at chords so I can kind of play anything, essentially,
Yeah.
like cover anything.
Yeah.
And like songwriting is definitely, and it probably would be that kind of music too. I feel like if I were to songwrite, it would be that very much storytelling kind of
Yeah. Yeah.
folk
It's just
genre.
great. I love it.
It's so
So
good.
yeah.
Absolutely fantastic.
Oh
All right,
yeah.
so I want to hear about American Idol and how you got into that and how that kind of lined up with this persona that doesn't really want to be in the
Yeah.
limelight and how you kind of balance that.
Yeah. So American Idol was interesting. I'll say that. So they called me on a Thursday and they were like, hey, we need people for this TV show. Will you fly out on Saturday? And I was like, sure. And so I flew out there just completely on a whim. Um, I expected it to be very different, but I really didn't have a ton of freedom in what I did. And they were like, hey, we want you to do an accent because you are in the country genre. And it's like, I am from good old Pennsylvania. I don't have an accent. And I just feel like it was not very good representation of myself, but getting to be on TV and meeting all of those super awesome people was amazing. So there were definitely ups and downs. Not sure that I'd do it again, but it was definitely cool to get to go on TV. So
So did you just get to skip those all the preliminary
yeah,
rounds that most people do?
yeah, they were kind of just like, we want you, like Uncle Sam, and I was like, okay, and then I went. So
So
yeah,
your first singing for American Idol was actually in the room with the
yeah,
judges.
hmm yeah.
What was it like to
So
be in their presence? I mean, these like, just hyper famous
I wish I could
celebrities.
tell you, I don't remember. I don't remember anything from inside that room except after I got my ticket and I walked up and I shook their hands and then Lionel Richie gave me a hug and he was like, "Do I smell?" And I was like, "No, you don't smell. Also, you're Lionel Richie, so even if you did smell, I wouldn't tell you that you smell." But and that was it. And then I left and my dad was standing outside the room and that was that. So it was terrifying. But
Yeah.
yeah.
What did you sing again?
I sang like half of Ring of Fire at probably like 12 BPM. Uh, Lord be with my accompanist. And then they were like, all right, we want you to sing Christmas carols. So I sang Christmas songs for like 20 minutes. Forgot the lyrics to Frosty the Snowman because I was so scared. And yeah, I think I also might have sang some Michael Bublé, but I can't remember. So
Just blacked
yeah.
out.
Yeah, I don't remember like anything. So
That's crazy. Okay,
yeah.
so start being starstruck was real.
Yeah, I think it was also just like, oh my gosh, so many people are going to see this.
Yeah, millions.
But yeah.
What is the viewership for American Idol auditions? It
Oh,
must be tens, millions,
yeah.
hundred
They
million.
said just off of TV alone, it's around 30 million,
That is
which is
crazy.
crazy. And then, like, from all of the videos of like people posting my audition, I mean, that's got to be another 100 million
Yep.
just across all the different platforms, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, if
So,
you step foot in that audition room on American Idol, people are going to recognize you.
yeah, yeah. And
If you had
especially
if you had
like,
done nothing else.
yeah, yeah. And especially because like they never ever get bases, like ever.
No,
So, yeah.
no, the last one I can remember was Scotty
Scotty.
McCreery,
Yep.
who's done very well.
Yeah. Scotty's great. But yeah.
Sang some Josh Turner. Did you think
Yeah.
about singing Josh Turner? Were you like, I don't
I
want to do
wanted
this?
to, and they were just like, actually, we're gonna have you sing Johnny Cash. Here's your song. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll do that.
Do you think that's
And
how it always goes for people before they get in
not
there?
for everyone, because some of my friends really got to choose like whatever they wanted to do. I did not. I didn't really get to choose anything. And a lot of my friends also didn't get to choose anything. So it's kind of like 50-50.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So they hear something really specific they want.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, those shows are also produced,
Yeah. Yeah. It's
you
like
know.
My sister has also been on TV, and
Okay.
she was on for like a baking show, and we both just bonded over the fact that it's like not reality TV at all. Like if something spilled on her show, they would like clean it up, put it back, and record it spilling, and then being like, "Oh no!" Or like if I said a joke, they'd be like, "I like that. That was funny. Can you say that one more time in this style?" And it's just like, "Yeah, I can do that."
That's
But
exhausting.
yeah,
So you're
absolutely.
you're are you on the fence if you do another show like it, or
I
are you
think that if I were to do another show like it, I would do The Voice,
okay?
but that's a big if.
Yeah.
So
Do you think the voice would have any more freedom there as
I
far as
think The
song?
Voice would because I would have a coach.
Yeah.
So for Idol, it's like dropping your kid off to kindergarten. They're just kind of like, all right, go have fun, go play,
Yeah.
and then just go do that. But,
I had a friend in my acapella group in undergrad, Ryan Sill,
okay,
who went on The Voice. I think he made it to top 8. So
well,
he did very well.
yeah,
But they gave him the just garbage song choice for what his voice was really good at. Like his voice is this like really high light tenor, like sing in your ear kind of
yeah,
like just amazing. He sings like the best on the Christmas EP from however many years ago. He sang like the best Santa Claus is coming to town you ever heard. Just like soft and sultry and incredible riffing and vocal control.
yeah,
And they put him on the show and gave him like Muse and like alternative rock with no riffing at all. And like is really supposed to be like kind of like powerful, gritty vocals.
yeah,
And like if they had really like thrown him softballs to hit, he could have won the show. He was that
yeah,
good of a singer.
yeah,
And they just like completely trashed his chance. And I don't know why. I was like, why
yeah,
wouldn't you want to show off your singers in the best way possible?
yeah, yeah,
Still got 8th though. It's not bad.
yeah. I know that's a W. So
That's a
yeah,
W.
yep,
Okay,
yeah,
interesting. What other shows are there like that? I guess there's like America's Got Talent.
yeah. Would not do that. Would not do that. Absolutely not.
No.
I was on another show that I actually really liked, but nobody really knew what was going on. It was called I Can See Your Voice, and I was on the
Oh,
second season of it. And so I really liked my performance on that because I had people that helped like instruct me on like this will look really good on stage, but if you want to do this, you can try this. And I feel like I had a lot more freedom. Everyone was really like a lot more involved with me, and they were really interested in my success, not just the success of the show. So if there are any people watching this right now
hmm.
that want to audition for a show, I Can See Your Voice is really good. So
I literally think a producer or casting agent reached out to me about that show.
yeah,
It was like when my stairwell videos were popping off like a year
yeah,
ago.
yeah,
99% sure that was the show they reached out to me about. And I was like,
yeah,
this sounds interesting. Like
yeah,
I have opera contracts, so I can't, but like this sounds interesting.
yeah. That's fire. Yeah.
As far as time and time management, what kind of time commitment is the Wellermen? And because you guys have done, a number of full albums at this point, and
Yeah.
how do you balance that with your studies?
Um, well, I mean, if I were only doing the Wellerman, would be like no time at all. But I work and I go to school and I've got homework and I've got rehearsals and stuff like that. So it's just like I have to cram anytime I do it. So I'm very thankful that we recorded so much this summer because that was like my only focus because I wasn't at work and I didn't have anything except that to do. And so we just wake up and record, and that was great. And I love that. So we only have, I'm not going to say any names of the songs because that's a secret, but we only have, I think, one more song to record virtually. And so we'll do that soon. So,
This, if you'd like to name this, I don't know when it's coming out, but this episode probably won't come out till like December.
oh, okay.
So,
Um, well, we're going to be recording the video for it in October in person because I'm flying over for a weekend because we have a private gig, which is
oh
crazy.
yeah, that's right. Bobby
So
mentioned that.
it's Amazing Grace, which I'm really excited for because that was one of the songs that
Nice.
I asked for because I feel like a cappella hymns are just gas, especially on the internet. Like everyone eats them up. So
That is so true.
yeah,
That's a
yeah,
timeless piece. You can't
it
go
really
wrong.
is. Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Who's
And
who's arra-
there's
who's arranging that one?
um we hired someone to do it, but I can't remember
Okay.
his name.
Okay.
So it's something like John Smith or something like that. I can't remember.
John
But
Smith.
yeah, I know, right? Woo! John Doe.
John.
Yeah. But I'm excited. I've listened to the demo tracks and it sounds really cool. I've got a for some reason like I feel like Bobby is a much better like background bass too than I am. Like I feel like he just has so much more support down
Well,
there on
well, he's.
tracks.
I mean, he's done it. He's been with a cappella groups for
Yeah,
years. You know.
for forever. Yeah. And I am just like not the best at that. And for some reason, I'm always singing bass too. And that one is really low. Like it's got like B flats in it. So, and it's like I can get a B flat, but like the bottom of my like comfortable register is a C.
Yeah.
So like I can growl down to like an A or an A flat, whatever. But it's like that is still low. And I'm not very good at subharmonics or anything. I've only got between like an E flat one and an A flat one in subs.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's like it's just in a weird spot. But I'm really excited. So
So
yeah.
do you feel like that you can reliably perform like B flats live? Like if you had to do it in a live performance?
On a mic, yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Um I think like anything below a B flat is tough unless it's sub like a sub G or an F. Like I have a choral piece that I'm doing with my chamber choir this semester where we have a G1 at the end. And yeah, which is awesome. And I have been teaching one of my friends subharmonics, and he's the only other like profundo that I've ever sang in a choir with. Um, and we have like almost the same register. I'm a little tiny bit lower than he is, but like having two profundos singing a G1 at the end of a piece is like phenomenal.
There are two
I
that low
know.
at Liberty.
Yes, I know. So we've only got like 600 people in the School of Music. Um, and my dean and I are pretty close. And so we were talking about my buddy Aaron, and we were like it's crazy enough that I'm there because it's like they get a profundo once every 6 or 7 years. So the fact that there are two profundos at the same time is just ridiculous. So
I mean, it's rare for a school to have any.
yeah, yeah,
Truly.
yeah.
The Academy of Vocal Arts, this like really high level professional opera training program I just finished up at last
Mm-hmm.
spring. The year I got there, I was the highest bass out of four. There were three profundos that can all sing like Osmin.
Yeah, that's
Three,
ridiculous.
three in the same school. And so I would end up singing like higher rep in operas than I normally would because there were three basses lower than me, which is absurd.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Because you are like, I mean, you just have phenomenal technique, and you also have a really, really good low end as well. Like,
Thank you, man.
I have talked to Bobby before about your chest fry. And it's like you have the like it's annoying. You have the most insane chest fry I have ever heard.
It's
It's
meaty.
ridiculous. Yeah, very meaty.
And
I have always wanted like I didn't learn subs until probably 9 months ago. And I had been trying and it didn't click until like 9 months ago. And I've always wanted to learn like extensive techniques. And the main one that I wanted to learn was chest fry. And I just could not get it. So I'm still working on it.
dude,
But,
yeah, and I don't know how or why I have it.
yeah.
Like even back in undergrad, if we had a really low piece in choir, there was one piece that might have had like an A flat one,
Yeah.
and I could do that in a choir setting, chest fry
Yeah.
back
Yeah.
then, and it's just gotten stronger. Kind of the more my opera voice has gotten stronger,
Yeah.
and the other nice thing about that technique is you can have a pretty seamless transition down.
Yeah.
Like I find I do it kind of like just at the end of phrases. It'll just
Yeah.
kind of go down to the chest fry,
Yeah.
and I don't even have to think about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
whereas
That's just
whereas
crazy.
subs, you really have to. It's very technical,
Yeah.
which I'm working more on because the thing about subs versus chest fries, subs can be. It's much more pure. It's much
Mm-hmm.
like chest fry is kind of an ugly sound, subs can be very pure because you're just creating that undertone.
Yeah.
And also, even if you're breath supporting a chest fry, because of the nature of how it's actually happening, it's usually
Yeah.
still pretty wobbly, like under a
Hmm.
microscope.
Yeah.
Whereas a sub can be very consistent
Yeah.
if you're breath supporting it well. So
Yeah.
there's definitely pros and cons to each. I've been working a little bit more just for fun because I've never been able to do any of it with opera because opera is all about like pure efficiency of tone and like no grit, none of that. But
Yeah.
at the end of my opera day, once I'm done with opera for the day, I've been working on like false fold stuff.
Dude, that's
It's
ridiculous.
it's so badass, and I'm like,
Yeah.
it's getting stronger, and so far, it's not ruining my operatic stuff yet.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
like,
Knock on wood.
can I do
Yeah.
both? Can I do
Yeah.
both?
That's awesome. Yeah.
So we'll see. I'm on that journey now because like for stuff we do with like the bass gang, like those guys don't have anything holding them back from trying like the more, I don't know if you'd call them like riskier
Yeah.
or um potentially more damaging types of singing. Because if one of them gets tired or like vocally off, just take a week off.
Yeah.
No one cares.
Yeah.
Like I have rehearsals every day, so like
Yeah.
I can't put
Yeah.
myself in that position. So I have to really like just big toe on the gas pedal kind of.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's your chest range?
um I mean, I can usually push down to like a B
Yeah.
throughout the day, but it's like pretty compressed and like thin.
Yeah. Yeah.
The meaty part of my chest range really probably ends at like a D
Yeah.
or E
Yeah.
flat. I would say I'm probably like a minor third higher than you are
Okay.
on average.
Yeah.
So I could like sing Osmine, but it wouldn't be right. Like Zoroastro is about the lowest.
Yeah. Zoroastro is awesome. The first operatic piece I ever learned was Isisun Osiris.
Yeah,
That was
I'll
fire.
sing it forever. I'm doing it in
Yeah.
like a bunch of donor stuff next month.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. It's a
great.
good
And yeah,
opera. It's very simple.
Low F to middle C.
Yep. Yep.
No,
Yeah.
I mean if you were going to do a roll, that would 100% be my recommendation because it doesn't go above E flat.
Yeah.
It's low F to E flat the whole roll.
Yeah.
And there's like
Yeah.
one E flat
Yeah.
and it's not sustained.
Yeah.
Whereas Osmine, much more
Is
difficult.
yes, all over
But
the place.
yeah, Zoroastro is like cake. If you can make a lot of money chilling out and singing Zoroastro.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll write that down.
Write that down.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Seriously, feel free to reach out whenever you have questions about opera.
Yeah.
Um, where am I? I
Also,
usually write
pardon my comically large Coke. I didn't feel like getting a cup.
it. Is that your thing?
I love Coke. I love Coke.
um, what are some of your favorite projects you've gotten to work on thus far?
I mean, a lot of the stuff with the Wellermen has been really fun. I was not a big fan of recording strictly virtually. Um, but like singing in person with them was amazing. Like awesome. Because I had never done like I did one solo like live performance before, but I had never like done something where people paid to come see me sing.
Yeah.
And that was like crazy. And having people like after our main show, there were people that like we did a meet and greet and they were like, "We love you guys, you're awesome." And it's like, that's so crazy. I've never met you before, but this is awesome. But that was awesome. And also just getting to meet all of those guys in person. I was really nervous that we weren't going to get along or that we wouldn't have good chemistry musically, like in person. But we all got along great and everything sounded really good. So it was definitely awesome. Yeah.
Do you guys have regular video meetings? Like how often are you guys in touch outside of, projects?
Yeah. It's usually like once a month.
Okay.
So
I was
yeah.
gonna say for the bass gang, because we just met up like a month ago for the first time. And we have video chats so often. Like it just felt like we were already pretty
Yeah.
close. So like I wasn't worried about the chemistry.
Yeah.
And then it of course just got better when we were there. It was just
Yeah.
like homies.
Yeah. Yeah. I felt really bad for Bobby though, because I snore And of
Oh
course, with my
no.
voice, it's really bad because I sound like a train when I snore. And there was one night when we were on the cruise, and Bobby and I had to share a room, and Bobby is such a light sleeper. And he was like, I did not sleep a wink. And I was like, I am so
Oh,
sorry, Bobby. So the next night, I just stayed up all night, and I was like, I'm going to let Bobby get a good night's rest. And I went out and sat out on the deck, and I felt so bad for him because, like, even when we were in our little like villa thing, he was sleeping upstairs. I was downstairs. He would sleep with earplugs in. And he was like, I could tell when you fell asleep through my earplugs. And I was like, I am so sorry. But
man.
yeah, I'm not as
You
bad as my dad, though. My dad, I can hear him all the way across the house. It's
are you a
crazy.
back sleeper? You sleep on your back?
No,
Really?
I can't fall asleep on my back.
Because
I'm a
usually
side sleeper.
side sleeper. I'm a
Yeah.
yeah, I'm a stomach.
Yeah, stomach or side. Yeah.
That's usually people that snore sleep on their back.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I'm just
Man,
built different.
you are
So
built
I guess
you
so.
are built different.
Yeah. Yeah.
Built to just honk, man.
I guess so. I'm a honker.
That
But
is wild.
yeah.
Okay, so a bit ago you mentioned you wouldn't want to be like a super famous, well, more famous than you are now. You are certainly on some level of fame already. Would you rather continue to find musical success with like in a group like the Wellermen where there's a little bit more anonymity, or as a solo artist where it's just
Um,
all you?
well, dream come true would be if I could just live in a little cabin and record music and then like send it out to the world and still live in the middle of nowhere. That would be perfect.
Couldn't you do that now? Like if you get
Yeah.
through Liberty,
Yeah.
couldn't you, with the revenue you've earned and such, get a cabin and build a little studio in it
Yeah. Well,
and
that's
just
what I want to do.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, you're good then.
I've never been one to care for money or nice things. I just want a simple life. So
Simple life, make
yeah.
music.
Yep. And that's it.
Once in a while, pop on tour with the Wellerman and then go back to
Yeah.
the cabin.
Yep. Yeah.
That sounds kind of perfect, actually.
I know, right? That's awesome. So we shall see if that works out. But yeah.
Sure. Yeah. So what are some other projects you have coming up and the Wellerman coming up? And again, this is coming out in December. So
Yeah. Um, well, this is so we're recording in September, and I'm hoping to record personal stuff. I've got 4 songs. I mean, I've written probably 100 songs, but traditionally it's like for every 50 songs you write, you'll get like 3 that are worth releasing. Whether it's like your mom's like, I love that song, it's great. But it's like it's everyone thinks that you could just write one song and it's like this is the best song I've ever heard. It's like I write a song almost every single day. And it's like, I mean, I've written over 100 songs and I've got like 4 that I want to record. And so I'm hoping to record those 4 songs. Just keep writing, and hopefully that'll be out by like December, which would be nice. So
what's going to be the setup? Is it going to be you and acoustic, or are you going to hire some studio
yeah,
musicians?
yeah, me and acoustic, and then I might play some piano on it too. But yeah,
Also, 4 song EP,
yeah,
original EP.
yeah, yeah,
That's very exciting.
yeah.
Um,
Super hype.
my buddy George is a professional guitar player in Nashville. He's been one of my best friends forever. Yeah, phenomenal guitar player.
Yeah, yeah.
And we're doing it'll probably be out as well, probably around December. We're doing a short EP of Johnny Cash covers.
No way.
Yeah, dude. And
That's
it's
fire.
just acoustic guitar and
Yeah,
voice. So he
yeah.
sent me Folsom Prison Blues and Ring of Fire last
Folsom
week.
Prison Blues is the best ever. I
Dude,
love
it's
it.
the best. You know, I got to perform it like in a concert hall this past summer.
That's crazy. Dude,
We
what? All right. So one song that most people haven't heard of from Johnny Cash that I love, and you would kill it, is Greystone Chapel.
Greystone
So,
Chapel.
yes.
Let me write that down.
It's awesome. It's another one of those songs where he went and performed it at um at Folsom Prison. And I was talking about the church in Folsom Prison. Because that was when he became a Christian, and it was just like I love it. Like it's just such a cool song, and it's that same like 12 bar blues, but it's
That's
great.
awesome.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so that's something I'm pumped about. And like I don't do much solo stuff because I
Yeah.
have opera as kind of first, then
Hmm.
all the like the whole YouTube channel and Bass Gang are in that second spot.
Hmm.
And it's exciting because those do continue, like they're edging up higher and higher all the
Yeah.
time as they continue to find success.
Yeah.
And then after that is like my solo stuff. So it's like
Yeah.
when I have time, I love working on some solo things, but
Yeah.
um I'm excited enough about all the other stuff.
Yeah.
But the Johnny Cat, I mean, like it's just acoustic and voice, so it's not a huge
Yeah.
to do. Like he sends
Yeah.
me the guitar, I track voice for it. It's pretty basic mixing.
Hmm.
It's not a whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah. But
it should be pretty sweet though. I'm pretty
yeah.
excited about it. Oh, well, I will just tell you quickly about Folsom and the concert hall. So we did this cabaret performance at this opera program, and it was
Hmm.
all totally non-opera music. It was all based
Oh.
around a place called Laurel Canyon in Los Angeles in the 70s with like Stevie Nicks and Joni Mitchell and the Mamas and the Papas, and like Elton John and Johnny Cash got thrown in there. Super, super fun. It was all set in like this 70s living room. Like we're all just hanging out singing music together. And I played like this bad boy boyfriend that had just gotten out of jail. And so like a third of the way into the program, I like storm out on stage with my acoustic guitar and like dressed in all black cowboy attire and start
Yeah.
singing Folsom. And so I got to sing Folsom in this like beautiful concert hall, like no microphone.
Wow.
It was like pretty crazy and like definitely a setting that Folsom has never been performed in.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's awesome.
It was pretty fun. It was
Yeah.
it was very cool.
Yeah.
Um, okay, well, I was going to ask you about your kind of like career goals or goals for your social media. We've kind of talked about that a little bit, but let's dig a little further. So I know the kind of overview is you want to be able to record and put out music and have a cabin in the woods. Is there anything specific beyond that? Like putting out full-length albums or like working with certain art, like working with Coulter Wall,
Oh,
for
that would be
something like
awesome.
that?
Like Culture Wall and Tyler Childers would be awesome to work with. Um, I think that's well above my pay grade, but that would be super
Currently,
fun to do.
currently, but
Currently, all
but
right.
but hey, you start putting out
Yeah,
solo stuff, we'll see.
yeah, yeah. Um, I mean, it would be awesome to make a living off of music enough so that I wouldn't have to like actually go and work. Um, but I mean, career wise, I don't really have any goals. I just kind of go with the flow. And I mean, I'm a Christian, so I mean, the Lord is always taking care of me. And I feel like He always will. So I'm not too stressed about it, not too worried. Um, but yeah, I'm just kind of vibing, just going for it. So that's
Okay.
my career goal right there.
Cool.
Yeah.
What what do you do for work outside of music? What's your job?
I work construction.
Okay.
So framing houses. So I work with one of my friends doing house restoration. So buy houses from the city and I'll go through there and rip everything out and then fix anything that needs fixing. And then we'll call in guys to replace windows and hang drywall, electricians, plumbers, and then sell the house.
That
So
seems like rewarding work, actually.
it is. It's very nice because like I can just drive around Lynchburg, which is the city I live in. I can just drive around and be like, I did that. You're welcome. Adding
Yeah.
to the city. No big deal. I know. But yeah,
Stop,
it's
stop,
definitely,
stop.
oh, stop. I'm blushing. Yeah, it's definitely very physically demanding, but I love, like, I mean, that aspect of I did that. And every day at the end of the day, you see progress and you're like, this kind of sucks right now, but I know that I'm making progress and this is going to turn out really well.
It's very tangible.
Yeah, yeah,
My brother
absolutely.
works in landscaping,
Okay.
but specifically like it's very like artistic landscaping. He'll do like
Yeah,
these amazing like rock structure. He'll build like little amphitheaters out of
that's
stone in people's backyards, and he'll do like rock sculpture kind of stuff. But he talks about it the same way. He's a very artistic guy, so he
yeah,
needs to have that art kind of in his career. But
yeah,
he's also like a fucking handyman. like, and got like, the man hands and like,
Yeah.
the grip strength of a gorilla. So he like
Yeah.
loves working with his hands and rocks and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And the way he talks about it is he loves the kind of like permanence aspect of it.
Yeah.
Like rocks will just be there forever.
Forever. Yeah.
Nothing man made lasts more than like 5,000 years. Like
Yeah.
titanium
Yeah.
gone in like 5,000 years.
Yeah.
Rocks
Yeah. Rocks are
essentially
old.
forever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Theoretically speaking.
yeah, like
Yeah.
crazy, right?
Yeah.
So he likes that. And also at the end of the day, you can just look and be like, I did all of that today,
Yeah.
as opposed to something, for example, like what I deal with as an opera singer for my training. I can't look back at the end of a week of like vocal training and just see
Yeah.
progress I've made. It's
Yeah.
so wispy and like you're on this day, you're off this day. Like my passages are great today. They sucked 2 days ago. They're gonna be bad
Yeah.
again. Like it's just
Yeah.
all over the place. And so you can't really get a hold of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so whenever sometimes I will work with him, just like if I'm home, in the summer for a couple weeks, just like hop on a job, move some
Hmm.
rocks around. And
Yeah.
it is so rewarding to be
Yeah.
like, you pick this rock up, you put this rock over here,
And it stays there forever. And
and
that's
then
that.
I have accomplished something.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. So we're getting I want to hit you with some Patreon questions here soon.
Okay.
But before we get there, what are some of the things you do outside of music other than construction? Do you have any like non-musical hobbies or like guilty pleasures like reality TV
Yes.
or something?
I love camping. I love camping.
Ah,
I go anytime I have the chance. I think I got that from my grandfather. He and I built a cabin in the woods together when I was a kid, and and so he passed away in November of 2022. And so like that was really, really tough for me. But now it's just like every time I go out there and camp, it's just like I feel like he's there with me, which is really fun.
hmm.
And my roommate is also like I live in a house with my best friend. He's great. And he also loves camping. And so randomly I'll just be like, hey, let's just leave civilization for the weekend. And we do that. And it's great. And I love playing chess. I'm horrible at it though. I love playing chess and I love watching movies. I've never been big on TV, but movies. I love movies.
If
Yeah.
you watch a movie, do you fully unplug and
Yeah.
just dive
Yep. Yep.
in?
Yeah.
We
I
could
just
watch
put my
movie.
phone
Dude,
across the room, get all swaddled up, and then my cat comes over and we just watch a movie.
we
It's
could watch
awesome.
movies together. I can't say that about many people because I'm the same
Yeah.
way. I am
Yeah.
like phone off in the other room. I want to just be completely taken
Yeah.
by the story because like that's how it was meant to be
Yeah.
consumed.
Yeah.
And I do watch shows. I don't have much leisure time these
Yeah.
days, but I'll try to
Yeah.
catch an episode of something at the end of the day, kind of before I go to bed.
Yeah.
And it is just like everything out of the way, just like completely dive in,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it completely changes the experience
Yeah. Yeah.
completely.
Yeah.
Cool, man. What are some of your favorite movies? If you could even, or some,
Yes.
that's too much pressure. What are some good ones you've seen recently?
Well, I have a top three list of my favorite movies.
A top three?
Yes.
That's
Yes.
shocking for a movie lover.
Yes. I know. So number one is Good Will Hunting.
Oh, that's a
Phenomenal
great.
movie.
That's
Number
yeah.
two is The Scent of a Woman.
Oh, I haven't seen
Um,
that.
that's with Al Pacino.
Okay.
Fire. Very,
Okay.
very good movie. And then number three is Shawshank Redemption, which is
Yeah.
just so hard to beat. I mean, it's amazing. So
Man, I watched Shawshank pretty recently.
yeah,
I need to watch Scent of a Woman, and Good
yeah,
Will Hunting's always been one of my
yeah.
favorites.
Good Will Hunting is just phenomenal.
It's just incredible. Also,
Yeah,
Robin Williams, R.I.P.
yeah.
God,
I know. What a guy.
just
Yeah,
phenomenal. Just
yeah.
like absolutely incredible and so like how can you do that role and also be like
And
the
then
funniest
also like
person,
Flubber. Like, how
flubber
can
and
this
like
is Doubtfire? It's like
yeah,
ridiculous.
the genie in Aladdin.
Yeah,
We've
yeah,
just done these Disney songs, and so I was listening back to the originals, and I was like, his voice acting in that movie is
insane.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, yeah,
Unbelievable.
yeah,
Cool, man. Cool to know that about you. All right, let's
yeah.
get into some Patreon questions. Then we'll wrap it up.
Woo.
Some of these we will have already kind of touched on for sure,
Okay.
but we'll just go through them anyway. All right, this is from LKH. She asks, have you ever considered a career in opera?
Well, it seems like all of my professors and a couple of my friends, like my vocal professor is a phenomenal operatic bass. And he's like, Luke, you would make so much money doing opera. And it's like, yes, Doc, I know you've told me before. I'm not necessarily opposed to it. It's just I'm not a very great operatic singer yet. And I would really have to dive into that a lot more to feel prepared to do opera. But I wouldn't be opposed to it. It's just not really a main focus for me.
It is, I will say, it is a ton
Yeah.
of time
Yeah.
and dedication.
Yeah.
And it takes a long time to start making money.
Yeah.
You could. I mean, you have, I can say it sounds like you at least have the natural setup.
Yeah.
For sure, which is more than most people have. But yeah, you have to love it.
Yeah.
You really have to love it.
Yeah.
And it is a lot of traveling.
Yeah.
A lot of performing and a lot of social stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I just had a great chat for the channel with Lisette Oropesa, who's maybe like sure one of the most famous successful operatic sopranos alive today.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she's wonderful. And even at her level, I mean, it's still a grind.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
it's crazy.
But yes, you could. That's also very cool. You have an operatic bass as a teacher because
Yeah.
that's also really rare.
Yeah. Yeah.
Most good operatic basses just work.
Yeah.
Until they're super old.
He is awesome. Like he did performance and stuff like that, but then he just felt called to teach, and he's awesome.
It's a good gig. It's great for security, which a lot of people end up wanting more and more. As life goes on. Cool, man.
Yeah.
Okay, we talked about this a little bit as well. This is a few questions from Susan, who's actually a new Patreon. Shout out to Susan. What is your vocal range? So let's taper that. Let's taper that a little bit. I want to ask. We talked about this a little bit earlier. What could you reliably do day to day? Like if you had to perform a song, what could you at least most days? What would you be comfortable?
Yeah. Singing? So if you put me on a mic, I'm comfortable with a B flat 1. But if like it's a choral setting, I really don't want to go below a C2. Unless I'm using secondary techniques, in which case I can get like a G, F, E pretty comfortably.
Yeah.
And then my upper register, like, I mean, I can belt an F. It's not pretty, but I can get it. So that's like F4, I think.
Yep.
Yeah. And then, I mean, my falsetto, I can get to the 5th octave. And yeah, so it's all over the place.
What's out of curiosity, what's like average morning voice for you on the low end?
Usually an A flat or a G.
That's sick.
Yeah. Yeah, it's wild.
That's so low.
Yeah, I know. So my friend Aaron that I was talking about earlier, the other profundo, is like anytime either one of us is having like a really good like bass morning voice, we'll just record a video. And so there's like one video of me where I got like a F or an E, and I sent it to him, and he just replied, "I hate you," and that was it. Like it's just it's all over the place, but it's usually around like an A or an A flat.
That's F or an E, dude. That's bonkers.
Yeah.
That's some freakish morning voice.
Yeah.
We had one morning after karaoke in the Czech Republic when Bobby had an F sharp.
Yeah.
And I had a G sharp.
Yeah.
And that is absolutely as low as my voice gets.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Favorite genre to listen to and favorite genre to sing?
Favorite genre to listen to would be either folk or jazz. I love oldies jazz. Like anything between the 30s and 60s, phenomenal.
Do you know an artist named Veronica Swift?
Sounds very familiar.
She's a good friend of mine who is at the top of the jazz
Okay.
scene
Yeah.
and goes on like world tour. She's now really branched out to do other genres because she's one of those people that can sing anything. She's interested in everything. So she does a bunch of
Yeah.
trans genre stuff like rock, classical, jazz, everything. Amazing artist. I'll send some of her stuff your way.
Yeah.
But she a lot of people like as she was coming up in the jazz were like, this is like the next Ella Fitzgerald,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
Ella Fitzgerald. I love Glenn Miller. Glenn Miller's great. Louis Armstrong, all those guys. Chet Baker. I love Chet Baker. Um, yeah, I love folk. I love old country music, like pretty much anything before like 1980.
Cool.
So yeah. But
Awesome.
then
Yeah.
my favorite genre to sing is probably like folk or western.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Cool. Killer. Okay. This is from actually you already did this, which is surprising. Someone wanted to this person prefers their name not to be mentioned generally. They wanted to see your forearm tattoos, which you
Yes.
which you already revealed, but maybe you can
Yes.
tell us a little bit about each one.
Yes. So um all right. So this is like my first big one. It's Odin's ravens, and I also just love ravens because they're my favorite animals. And then I got a horseshoe for my grandfather when he passed away because he loved horses. And then this is from Coulter Wall's Imaginary Appalachia, because that's the album that got me into songwriting. And then this is from a song called Using Again by Benjamin Todd, which is one of my favorites. And then I got a semicolon for one of my friends. And then I also have a rose.
Nice,
So,
man. Tat it up.
yeah,
When
I
when did
know.
you get your first one?
I think when I was 18.
Okay.
So
I'm overdue. I've been getting like one a year for a
yeah,
few years now, and I haven't gotten one this year. And I need to get one.
yeah. This year
There's
was
so
crazy.
many.
I think I got four this year.
It seems like a lot of yours are based around music.
Yeah, yeah,
Cool.
yeah,
Mine so far are one was a European summer I had, just a kind of
yeah,
an ode to that summer.
yeah.
And a lot of the other ones I want to get are usually actually TV or movie based because I just get
Really?
so much inspiration from movie characters.
Yeah,
And I'm just like blown away by the acting and just like how like we were talking about earlier, if you really let yourself get into a good movie, how much of a masterpiece they can be.
yeah,
And some of the acting performances. I don't know if you
yeah,
think like I don't know if you don't watch shows, you probably haven't seen it, but like a Peaky Blinders with Cillian Murphy as the lead,
yeah,
like that show is just like at least the first few seasons, it's a masterpiece. So like I want to
yeah.
get a tattoo based around that show. I have a Game of Thrones and a Lord of the Rings tattoo combined. I have an
Nice.
Avatar: The Last Airbender tattoo. Like it's usually shows that really get me super jacked up, like
Yeah,
characters.
that's
Um,
awesome.
cool, but music's something I have to think about. Some
Yeah,
musical tattoos because I kind of
yeah,
I kind of owe that to myself, don't
yeah, yeah. A little bit.
I? Okay, and we've also talked about this as well, but you can give another brief recap. This is from Jen Fraley. What are your goals past college, and do they involve music?
Yes. Well, my goals post college, I would love to get married and have kids and live in a cabin in the middle of nowhere. And doing music. I mean, I'll never stop doing music, but I don't know if I would want music to be my full-time thing. Like as much as I would love for it to be, it's not very reliable. But I don't think I'll ever stop doing music. So
Awesome.
yeah.
What year are you now at Liberty?
I'm a fourth year, but I won't graduate till the fall, next fall.
Are they? I know back when I was in high school, which is like 10 years ago. This was it more than that? Graduated in 2012. It's more than
Wow.
that. Woo.
Yeah.
Back when I was in high school a decade ago at Liberty, I remember they were, I don't want to say pushing, but really encouraging people to be engaged by like the end of sophomore year, like spring ring or ring spring
Oh,
or
Ring by
something.
Spring.
Ring by spring.
That's a old joke at Liberty. Is like people because of their faith are like we have to get married like soon, and so
Yeah.
it's like the joke is like you meet someone in the fall and then get engaged by spring.
Okay.
So, yeah, Yeah.
Is that at all a real pressure, or is that very much like a
Um, I wouldn't say it's a pressure, but it is a reality. I saw someone
yeah,
proposing the dining hall one time,
that's
which
romantic
was, I know, very romantic.
over
So
like mashed potatoes and
yeah.
I love it.
So it's interesting. And also just because like so many of my friends are like already married,
Yeah.
which is crazy because they're all like one of my friends is engaged. He's gonna get married this summer and he's 19.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy to me.
There were a number
Uh,
of Christian guys in my acapella group in undergrad. I went to JMU, so not a
okay.
Christian school, wasn't a
Yeah.
Christian acapella group, but there are a number of Christian guys. And yeah, a number of them were married either like at the end of college or shortly after. I think my
Yeah.
first year after college, I went to like 7 weddings, and like half of
Wow.
them were for these guys.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so it's definitely a thing. It's
Yeah.
definitely a thing in the especially in the Christian community.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Cool, man, dude. It's been
Yeah.
so fun chatting with you.
Yes.
I
Very
really
fun indeed.
I really feel like we're homies, and I can't
Yes.
wait to meet you in person.
Yeah, dude.
It's gonna be a riot
Yeah. It'll be
whenever that
awesome.
happens.
Yeah, and
So,
of
dude,
course Bobby will be there too. So it will be like a
dude,
union of bass.
yes,
So yeah.
I can't wait. If you have any final words to the audience, to the fans, and anything else you'd like to say, feel free.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for watching. We appreciate all of you very much and very dearly. Peter, thank you for your time with me today, and thank you for inviting me. And I hope that you and everyone who watches this has a great rest of their day.
I really think they will.
Yes.
This felt like a very like both productive, like we got a lot of good info out there, but it was
Yeah.
also just a vibe.
Yeah. And I literally just now looked at the clock and realized that it was over an hour.
Dude, it like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy,
That
right?
was
That's
awesome.
when you
Yeah.
know. That's when
That's
you
when you
know.
know we're boys, Peter.
We're
We're
boys.
boys. Can't help it.
Dude,
Yeah.
thank you so much. I will
Yes.
keep you posted on the release and everything
All
for
right.
this. And otherwise, dude, best of luck with everything. Please reach out if you have any questions about opera, especially, or like technique
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Dude, peace out.
Alrighty. Toodles.